Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another unorthodox, unprecedented, unscheduled, unannounced Geeks Fiber Tuesday podcast. That is right. I am yawning and stretching at the same time because I woke up recently because I was extra fucking tired. Joining me is a man who is a musician who is starting out in the con community. He's going to conventions to perform. I want to allow him to introduce himself, but I am your host for the Geeks Forever channel, the Geeks Forever podcast, the Monday Trash Talk panel, and all the other shows we're going to be doing. I am known as Jesse Goku, also known as King Mexico, also known as the guy that switched to self checkout and who saved hundreds by switching to self checkout and stealing shit. What's going on, man? What's going on? Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me, man. Nothing much. Just
If you could introduce yourself, because I forgot to ask you for your stage name before we started. So I didn't know if you went by your actual name or your stage name.
Well, name's Chad.
Oh, so your actual name.
Yeah, I got my actual name. My nickname is that sax guy or whatever, but it's either one works. They're interchangeable.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, man. This is Chad. He's a musician. He's actually, I met him. I think we met at Onicon.
Yes, sir. Onicon 2017. 17.
Are you sure it was 17?
17 or 18, I'm pretty sure. Because I know 17 was the first year we went.
I think it was 2018.
Okay, yeah.
Because I didn't go 2017.
Right.
I know, because ever since 2007, for the longest, I always went to Onicon. I think 2017 was the first time I had skipped Onicon.
Right.
And I think I went 2018. I skipped 2017 and I skipped 2019.
Right.
Because of mental health issues. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. Remember, if you're struggling or going through a lot, there's always, or if you know somebody that's going through mental health issues, you can always reach out to them, contact them, or share the suicide hotline phone number, which I should have posted, but I didn't get a chance to. Together we can save somebody's life, or at least help them, impact them, and help get them through all this, because it is a lot. It is a lot that everybody's going through, and it's one of those things to where we all need each other. So let's get through this together, guys.
Definitely.
All right, man. So thanks for agreeing to be on the show. Tell us a little bit. You said you're the Epics. You said you're the sax guy.
Yeah, it's a name I just scratched on the badge or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of have this thing where I have, whether I'm playing or not, I'll just always have my sax with me, so it kind of becomes a, hey, there's that guy, we know him, kind of deal,
Right. Yeah, because I met you, and I think I met you, I don't know if I had met you prior to you just playing on the second floor of Onicon.
Right.
You were just it was you and maybe one or two other people. Y'all were just playing, and I remember it was you and a few other friends. I don't want to say their names.
Right.
We were all just kind of hanging out and drinking, and you were just kind of there playing. So you were there playing, and y'all were just playing. Then we ended up all started drinking, and everybody was just kind of there all night. So it was a pretty interesting night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. It was it's like those kind of moments. They always make for a good time, because that totally wasn't planned. We were just kind of there in the moment.
So, but okay. So, how long have you been playing the saxophone?
Shit. Let's see, 6th grade. So that would have been about 06, 07. Mm-hmm. Probably about 14 or 15 years at this point.
Mm-hmm. 14, 15 years. And what made you get into it? Because I know the saxophone, I don't know if it's a very popular instrument.
Uh, I'd say, well, in terms of popular, I'd say more guitar is more one of the more popular ones. Like, look up and everybody's like, oh, hey, I know how to play guitar. It's like, what? Dude, everybody I know knows how to play guitar, but it's like saxophone, it's like one of those lesser. I know fewer people who play, maybe saxophone than I do guitar, bass, and drums. It's like everybody I know plays guitar, either guitar, bass, and drums, but saxophone is like maybe 3 or 4 of the people I know.
I
But
actually meet less bass players than I would drum or guitar.
right. But to go back to how I got started on saxophone, it was like I think the spring semester of 6th grade or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to choose an elective. I was like, and we had 3 electives to choose from. It was art, choir, or band. I was like, well, I can't draw, so art's out. Can't sing, so choir's out. And well, I guess I'll give band a try.
Okay, so the thing about art, and I think there's like a lot of stigma against like art, like hand drawing, is that people think that you have to be naturally talented at drawing,
Right.
which is not always the case. Like there are some people that are just naturally talented and they pick it up like nothing, but a lot of people, like me for instance, I don't consider myself naturally talented. I actually have been drawing Dragon Ball Z since I was in elementary school actually.
Right.
So it's only I'm only going to get better at it if I keep doing the same thing over and over and over. So I think a lot of people don't realize there is a lot of hard work and there's a lot of practice. It's like a lot of athletes. You have the athletes that are naturally talented and get far, but then you have the other athletes that are just almost as good, are as good, and they got that way through hard work.
Right. And I think that's a lot of that can cross over into like arts in general, like music too. It's like you have your musicians who are just like world class, and it's like they were just born to do that. And it's like, and then you have other musicians who are like, you can see the potential's there. They just need to work on it and practice it.
No, absolutely. But okay, so how long we met at the anime convention? We met at an anime convention called Onicon in Galveston, Texas, around Halloween weekend. For those of you that don't know, sharing some information with you about the convention. It's called Onicon, which is like Demon Con, I guess. It's an anime convention, like I said, in Galveston, Texas. You can check them out at Onicon. I think it's Oni-Con.
Yeah, I think it's Oni-Con. I'm not sure if it's .com or .net.
It's definitely not .com. You got me second guessing this. Yeah, it's .net. It's .net. Okay, yeah, so it's Oni-Con.net. You can check them out. They're actually going to have their convention this year on October 30th and November. Oh, wait, that's last year's dates. Whoops. They need to update their shit. No, but we were talking about Onicon. So we met at Onicon. How long have you been going to anime conventions? Because at that point, I got to assume that wasn't your first con.
That was I think when we met, that had been my, let's see, I want to say 5th, actually. 5th. It was like 5th or 6th, somewhere along there.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things too where like, because like the reason why I assumed it wasn't your first con, because most people that go to the cons for the first time wouldn't think to take like a saxophone or a guitar or any kind of instruments or anything with them. They just take like a change of clothes, maybe like some like a backpack just with random shit in it.
Right.
But as you go to more and more conventions as you go to more and more conventions, that's when you start bringing the random shit. Like me for Delta H Con, I had packed my laptop and my gaming tower. I brought both my computers with me. The gaming tower I kept in the hotel room because that's what I was working on, and the laptop I took that with me to all my panels because it was portable.
Right.
I'll bring all kinds of shit. It was so bad I had to make 2 trips because I lived 30 minutes away from. I don't even think it was 30 minutes. I think it was like 20, 25 minutes. I think it was maybe about 20 minutes. It was about 20 minutes away from the convention, so I literally made 2 trips just like bringing shit over.
Whew. Man.
It was just it was random because we were there from Thursday. We checked in Thursday and then we checked out Monday. So we were there for almost 5 days. Wait, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, 5 days. We were there 5 days, 4 nights.
Right.
So yeah, I was gonna have all my shit with me, and I even brought shit I didn't even need. Like I brought my WWE belt. I brought all kinds of crap. But no, I mean, like, so you go to your first con, you attend. What was your first con like? Because a lot of people, when they go to their first con, it's like going to fucking Disney World.
Oh man! So believe it or not, my first con was actually Matsuri 2017.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Oh god! But that was before I knew about
the bad shit.
Yeah, that was before I knew about all that. So I'm like, well, it is what it is for that first one. But now that I know, it's like, all right. But back to answer the question, the first one was like, honestly, the first day I just literally spent walking around the dealer's hall the whole time they were open. I was like, wait, what? And then I found out there were panels going on. I was like, wait, what? Oh my goodness! I really just spent all day and walking around the dealer hall. These people probably think I'm like, what is wrong with this guy?
You would be surprised at how many people just walk around doing absolutely fucking nothing. There's a lot of people that will just walk around the con, do absolutely nothing, and then say it was the greatest weekend of their lives.
Accurate.
Because I thought Onicon was amazing the first time I went to, because it was new. I didn't walk around the dealer's room though. I walked around the con itself. I just walked around the con and I just took pictures and met people.
Right.
And then, like, it's once I started getting involved with conventions, once I started like doing panels, events, photo shoots, I started getting involved that I realized, man, these things are actually boring as fuck.
Yeah.
And then once I turned 21, that's when I started drinking at the cons because I had drank before, high school student, obviously.
Right.
But I grew up in a bad area. Like, I discovered, like, holy shit, there's room parties or shit like that. So I found out more and more about, like, the more I started going to, like, I think within my first year of going to anime cons, within 12 months, I had already gone to 5 or 6.
Whew. Nice.
And then within 3 years, I'd already been to like. In 1 year, I went to like 10 because I was going with with Mark, who is the director of Kamikaze Con, and he was a vendor. So I traveled with him to Anime Central in Chicago. I traveled with him to San Japan. I traveled with him to Anime Overload, which no longer exists. I traveled with him to all kinds of crazy anime conventions and Comic Con. So the first time I ever hosted panels was at Kamikaze Con, which is probably a con that a lot of people haven't heard of or don't remember because it's not around anymore. But it's once you start getting more and more involved, once you start doing stuff like panels, like I said, it's like you don't know what to do with your free time anymore because you don't like the walking around. You don't give a shit about the cosplay contest. I'm sorry, but the cosplay contest is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I like going to them just to see, what's the way to put it? Just to see, some of the more of the outlandish cosplays, like more of the not well known ones, I guess.
No, well, I'm not talking about like I've never been one of the people to just go to the contest and watch.
Right.
I've always been a participant.
Right.
So I fucking hate that. Like I hate because the last few times that I've entered the cosplay contest, I have won an award. But like honestly, it's really not worth it unless they're giving away a cash prize and you are like a shoo-in to win. Because you're literally standing around for 4 fucking hours. Then you go on stage for like 40 seconds. And then you're waiting another 2 hours. Like literally the cosplay contest is the whole day. The whole day wasted.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I might do a whole fucking podcast about that too. Because I'm sorry, but I hate the cosplay contest. Like, I offered, like, at I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was Anime North or Anime Austin. I'm like, hey man, I don't want to be in the cosplay contest, but I'll interview the winner for my show.
Right.
And so yeah, I did. I interviewed the winner, and they gave the winner a championship. I'm like, okay, that's fucking cool. If I had known that, I would have entered the contest.
Oh yeah.
But those belts are like $70, $180. But like, what made you start? So let's talk about like after you go to your first con, you attend a few cons. What made you start bringing your saxophone to the conventions? And what was your goal? Like, were you just trying to like play and hopefully people listen, or you're gonna go out there and play and put a hat and hopefully somebody throws a couple quarters at you?
Actually, I can't really get into that explanation without, explaining how the whole current project that we have came to be. So I guess we'll just go ahead and dive into that. Because there's like a whole backstory to how that came to be and everything. But anyway, so go to my first con, 2017, right? Thought it was pretty cool. So I'm like, all right, get back home. I'm thinking, that was pretty fun. What are there any other events like this in the state that, maybe I can hit up later in the year or whatnot? So do a little Google searching, find out about, A-Kon, San Japan. Look at my checking account, and they're like, all right, those are a little too close for me right now, so let's look a little later in the year. Find out about Onicon. So I'm like, okay, this is basically right in my backyard. This is like perfect for me. Gives me time to save up. At the time, I was doing some band practices for a band that me and the one of the other guys who's on the current project with me now, we both were in that little side band, which unfortunately is dissolved. We all went our separate ways, but stuff happens. But anyway, work on the songs for that side band, and literally like the day before we would have left for Onicon, we had our first gig with that band. So I was like, all right, so cool. I'm going to leave here with a little extra money in my pocket. And so join the Onicon Facebook group, message them, post, hey, so what are the, I guess, restrictions on bringing a saxophone and whatnot? Admin comments, hey, that'll be fine. I'm like, all right, so this will work. Talk to the guitarist. He's like, hey, would you, be down if we bring our instruments to, play a little bit? He says, sure. I don't see why not. I'm like, all right, bet. And so we do the gig, and then the very next day we do this performance for an elementary school over in it's over in Angleton, called Northside. We do this little program for the kids that are during their lunch. It's called Jazz on the Lawn. So do that. It goes great. We speed off to Onicon afterwards. Uh, and then we just get there, check in, all of that. And the first thing we do when we get there, we get checked in, all of that. We offload all our stuff, go to the convention center, take the escalators up. We're like, we're looking around. We're like, we find that spot that's just like, hey, that'd be perfect for us to just like set up and do our thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that, and it's just like it was a little slow going at first, but we gradually start getting a bigger audience, and it's like, all right, now we're I guess we're just let's just do what we do, I guess.
An anime con is really good spot because like you could be doing anything and you might catch people's curiosity. Like when I was the 1 year I was the cosplay director for Delta, I had my TV just playing Dragon Ball Super, not Super, I'm sorry, Dragon Ball Z Kai, and it was I was just playing that because I was not only was I watching it, but it was to attract attention. And it actually did. People were like walking by and just stopping to watch it, and they're like, "Oh, the cosplay contest. Let me sign up since I'm here."
Oh yeah.
So like an anime convention is a really good spot, or a Comic-Con in general is a really good spot to like just get people's attention.
Definitely.
No, but like when y'all started performing in front of those people and y'all started getting more and more people to watch, how did it make you feel?
No, it was like I was personally a little nervous because I was like, I didn't know how it was gonna go. I honestly thought it was gonna be like, okay, small crowd, maybe 5 to 10 people, but no, we're getting like, 20, 25 over here, and I'm just like, oh, all right, this is going better than expected.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like 1 year at San Japan, I had like 3 people following me, and I was just talking shit about Pokemon.
Yeah.
I just started talking shit about how stupid I think Pokemon is. And then next thing you know, there's like 30 people surrounding me here wanting to hear what I have to say about, what? Pokemon's the dumbest fucking thing. Never seen. It's just cockfighting kids. My pet's killing your pets. How come when I get my ass whooped, I black out and wake up in a hospital with half my money gone?
Hell yeah.
And people are like, fuck.
It's like, you know what? This guy actually makes sense.
And then how come if it wasn't gambling, if it wasn't gambling, then how come I'm winning money afterwards? Like, oh hey, you kicked my ass, here's $30.
It's like,
and like for real, they call it like, what do they call it in the game? They don't call it hospital, but that's what it fucking is. It's a fucking hospital.
Right, it's the Pokemon Center or whatever.
Yeah, Pokemon Center. Pokemon Emergency Room is more like it.
Right.
And it's like, oh no, don't go out into the tall grass because you'll get eaten alive by the giant rats and pigeons out there.
Hell yeah.
Bruh, Pokemon. Fuck Pokemon. Anyways, I went off on a tangent.
You're good. You're good.
So Onicon was the first time y'all performed in front of a crowd, the time we met?
No, 2017 was the first year we actually did it. The 2018 was
the following year.
Yeah, when we met the following year, I think that had been the third. The third, because that next year we did San Japan as actual panelists, and then
which, by the way, if you got into San Japan as a panelist, congratulations.
Appreciate that,
because it's not easy to get into San Japan.
Oh yeah.
No, it's like, okay, what panel do you want to host, and why should we have you host it? I'm like, damn, you got to sell it to them, because if you don't host it, because if you don't allow me to host my panel, then you a punk ass bitch. Oh shit. All right, let him have his panel.
It's like, all right, it's like this guy means business.
This guy means fucking business. Ain't nobody gonna call me a punk ass bitch around here.
Yeah.
No, but like so because when we met, it wasn't a big crowd because it was like when we met, it was like at 2 a.m, like or 2 or 3. But the con was pretty dead, and we were all drinking at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't think I didn't have a hotel room. I didn't have anywhere to go. I was just me being there was like I was only there for the day. I was only going to be there for one day, and then I was going to go to the Renaissance. But so I didn't even bother booking a hotel.
Yeah.
I was just going to go host my panel and then take off. But I ended up hanging out the whole night. So, like, how long? Like, it was kind of crazy though that y'all were playing on the second floor. I think it was cool and interesting.
Yeah.
It was like I seen other people play guitar, and that shit, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, that shit gets real old real fast because one, like, it's always a fucking guitar, and like two, the guy's either really good or they kind of suck.
Yeah.
I've seen one person fucking play an accordion, which I thought was interesting, and one person played like an ocarina, but you can barely hear them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see somebody play a saxophone because I've never seen that. I've never seen that at a con, and I've been to a lot of cons.
Right.
So it's one of those things to where it's really cool and interesting, especially if you're talented and you're trained or you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But what, like you said, because like how bad has the pandemic hurt you and your art? Because I'm probably not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that musicians like yourself rely on crowds and bookings and shit like that to get your name out there and to.
Well, the thing, I guess my situation was a little bit different, so because I wasn't necessarily gigging like on a regular basis before everything began, so it hasn't affected me in that sense. But as far as what is it? As far as I guess future outlook is like when is the next time I'm gonna get to gig? It's like that's kind of been the thing that's been like, all right, this is kind of dragging on. I'm kind of itching to get a gig over here,
Right.
just to get out and be amongst an audience and do what I like to do.
Right. No, absolutely. Because we rely on an audience as well.
Right.
And our audience has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. Like ratings are down. Even WWE, wrestling as a whole, people just don't care because, can't go out, can't go to it live.
Right.
Everybody's audience has like suffered a little bit because it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same as seeing it live. Like we rely on conventions just as much as wrestling companies rely on the house shows.
Right.
To go out to be able to travel and spread awareness and put on our shows and get people to like discover us. It's not the same where we've been completely 100% reliant on the internet as a whole to get awareness out there. Like when we started before the pandemic, we were at 800 and something subscribers on Facebook. Now we just hit 1,200. But the thing is, like with a convention, we could have hit like, if we had conventions, I think we'd be closer to 2,000 already. But that's why we are really like working towards going to Delta H Con and Comic Palooza, which is gonna be fucking hell.
Right, because they're both on the same weekend.
Yeah. Actually, let's talk about that, by the way. Are you going to Delta H Con or Comic Palooza? That seems to be the question everybody is asking nowadays because both conventions are on the same weekend.
I know I've submitted our panel to Delta H because I feel like I feel like what we do would relate better to that audience more so than Comic Palooza. But I am definitely interested in going there for maybe next year, if not. Oh, hey, so our panel's at this time, so we can swing over to Comic Palooza for like a day or whatever.
But what makes you think that you're? Because like that's the thing though, man. Because I don't get it. Like people, and I'm not taking a shot at you. I'm
Right,
just saying
right.
in general. Like people feel like, oh, I don't really want to go to Comic Palooza because it's comic books and like I want to go to this anime convention because
Right.
it's the same bullshit with Matsuri. Like, oh my god, I want to go to Anime Matsuri instead of Comic Palooza because
Right.
Anime Matsuri is anime. I'm like, and it's the only anime convention we have in Houston. I know, there I go again, taking more shots at Matsuri. That's
Nah,
what this
you're good.
fucking channel has become known for. Every time we have a show, I gotta go tell Matsuri it can fuck itself. And I will to the day I die, even in my grave. Like, Grandpa Jesse, what are your last dying words? Fuck Matsuri. Fuck Anime Matsuri. Anyways, yeah, no, and it's just like I think there's like a people have the wrong idea of
Mm,
comic book conventions. I think comic book conventions are much more universal than anime conventions are.
right.
I think comic book conventions are much more open, they're much more universal, and they have much more to offer than an anime. Because I was looking at the cosplay contest for a Comic-Con,
Mm,
and they have nowhere near as many restrictions as an anime convention. Anime convention has to be from a Japanese anime or video game to be able to enter the contest. Those were the actual rules for one anime convention whose name I'm not going to say. It's not Delta. It's definitely not Delta H-Con. And unfortunately, it's also not Matsuri. Because if it was Matsuri, I would throw shade their fucking way. I would not hide it. But like they have this, it has to be Japanese anime or Japanese video game, or I'm like, that's kind of stupid.
right.
Because I had to explain, like when I went on stage as the Ninja Turtle, it has to be Japanese anime. I'm like, yeah, you do know that there is an actual Japanese anime for the Ninja Turtles, right? It was like a movie. It was two movies. It was like Saint Seiya, but stupid. They're like, oh, we didn't know that. Well, then why the fuck are you only restricting it to anime if you didn't know?
I think that's like that. What is it? That whole unknown unknowns thing. It's like we don't know this exists, so it's like, oh, hey, this exists. All right, you're good.
Ah, yes, and that reference is it references two things: Pulp Fiction and the Boondocks.
Oh yeah.
And we always got to make references to the Boondocks on the show. That's our thing this year. Last year was Maneater. This year is the Boondocks. Because I have HBO Max now, and I've been watching the fucking Boondocks a lot.
Oh
But it's like,
yeah. Eight.
like I think if you have the chance, man, you should consider going to to Comic Palooza or Comic Con in general,
Right.
because they're like people, and like I said, we're gonna talk to the weebs eventually. But it's crazy how many fucking people that don't want to go to Comic Palooza because they want to strictly stick to anime. Like, it's crazy. Like, oh, I only like anime. Like, good for you. Like, you only like anime? Cool. Guess what? We host anime panels at Comic Palooza. Like, they have anime panels. Oh, I thought they only did comic books because they, it's one of those. Anyways, so with what can you talk about the panels that you submitted for Delta?
It's just the same thing we normally do. We go with like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour time slot, and we just prepare a set list of every.
Yeah, no, but like, what kind of panels are you gonna have? Like a learn how to play saxophone 101 panel, or
We just usually do like the singular, just like performance.
okay.
Yeah, it's like
So pretty much like, do you know who Deacon Rap is?
yes.
Yeah, he does the same thing.
Right.
He'll submit for an entire panel just to go on stage and perform. I'm like, bro, why don't you like try to be like the musical guest? But I guess a lot of conventions are like,
It's like they want that big splashy name.
right, yeah, I get it. And you know, as an artist, you're just trying to get your name up there first,
Right.
because like once the ball rolling, once you start getting that momentum, like, you know, it's really good. But before that, you really have to try to get it rolling.
Right. It's like,
So, but with Delta H Con, okay, so you're going to Delta H Con, you submitted some panels, you're hoping that they're going to get approved.
right.
Do you have a backup plan in the event that they are not approved?
Personally, I'd like to go either way, just to
I'm going to perform, or party, or both.
right.
It's
Yeah, that sort of thing. It's like either way, I want to go myself. I can't, speak to the rest of the group. It's like there's no real incentive for them to go without, I guess, the performance aspect of the panel or whatever. But me, I'm just like, I'm trying to see new cons and gauge interest for, future events and whatnot.
no, absolutely. Like, it's crazy. Like, you have to go to these events, and you have to like talk to people and get to know them and spread awareness and try to get them to like, hey man, have you like I forgot, are you performing in our party?
I think I know we had talked about it. I said I'd definitely be down for it.
Right, because I think we're trying to get a band,
Right.
and we wanted you to be the opener.
Right.
For sure. We're trying to see what we can do. We don't know what we're gonna do just yet.
For sure.
It's definitely not gonna be a massive big party like we normally have, because pandemic.
Right.
It's definitely gonna be one of those, hey, it's invite only. Are you on the list? No? Then fuck off.
Which
I will. So, like, just some details for the party for anybody watching. It's invitation only. It is 21 and up. You must be 21 or up. And we are going to take your temperature at the door.
For sure.
Like, I'm not gonna like require that you have been vaccinated, because that's fine. Not everyone agrees with the whole vaccination. That's fine.
Right.
Just like how there are people out there that voted for Senor Cheeto Puff, whatever. But at the same time, we are going to take your fucking temperature. If you don't allow it, we are going to check IDs. And just so we don't always like, we're going to do the wristband thing. We're going to do the wristband thing, and we are going to check the wristbands as well. So don't think you can pull that whole rip it up and then put it on somebody else and then tape it back up.
Yeah.
Because I ain't playing that fucking game. I was a teenager once. I ain't playing that fuck, because I'm not about to go to jail because some dumbass underage person decided they wanted to come into my room and drink.
Yeah.
Because I went to a room party in Delta 2019, because there were a lot of people at mine. So I'm like, oh, I heard there's another party. Let me go check it out. They had nowhere near the amount of people we had. They had nowhere near the amount of people, but the fucked up part is they had twice as much alcohol.
Damn.
They had way more alcohol than we did, but they had nowhere near the amount of people, but they had a lot of people that looked like they were 19 and 20.
Oh.
Because you could tell they were 19 and 20 because they were sitting in a circle on the floor talking to each other. I'm like, yeah, those are kids. See those? Those are kids. Like, if your room gets hit by the cops, the first thing they're going to look at is those kids on the floor.
It's like, props to y'all for sitting on the floor, because my knees are just like, nah, buddy, you do that. We're not getting
I don't have that problem anymore. I don't have that problem. Ever since I started working out, I don't have that issue anymore. I can sit on the floor and I can get up. That's not the problem. The problem is, like, you need something to grab on to, like, pull yourself up.
Yeah, that's me right now. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, no, I don't have an issue getting off the floor. It's never been the issue. It's like my issue's always been like, just like, no, I had problems with my knees, but I don't have issues with my knees anymore. Like doing the exercise bike has actually helped out a lot.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the convention. So you go to the conventions. I mean, let's talk about you as an individual. We talked about you being a saxophone player. We talked about, are you a cosplayer?
At the moment, no. I am planning to do like a what is it? I am planning to do like a Darth Revan for San Japan next year, though.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I asked if you're a cosplayer, because you've been going to it's kind of, you have different types of people out there.
Right.
You have panelists, you have the cosplayers, you have the photographers, you have the kawaii. I'm going to go spend $500 in the dealer's room for shit that I could have gotten for half the price on Amazon.
And then I can't afford my next month's rent.
I can't afford. Yeah, I'm going to go spend I don't have enough money to get a hotel room or split a hotel room with somebody else, so I'm going to sleep in my car, but I just went and spent $500 in the dealer's room.
It's like, bro, what?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't afford a McDouble at McDonald's, but I just spent $100 on an anime figurine because she's my waifu and she doesn't exist and she's never going to love me back.
It's like,
I'm a fucking asshole, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, bro, why did you buy that? Oh, because she's my waifu. That bitch don't even know who you are. She don't know who. She's not even real. Bruh, go get your money back.
Like, seriously, man.
Go get your fucking money back, or I'm gonna whip your ass. I know somebody's in the comment section. What a dick! What a dick! What an asshole! No, but like, and we've talked about that before. Like, people will spend. I've seen, and then you have the photographers. You got the kawaii. You get those people that walk around with the cat earphones. The headphones that have the cat ears on them that are loud. You have the cosplayers. You have the people that spend way too much on the dealers. You have the mouth breathers.
Oh, my favorite.
The fedoras. Hello, my lady. Where's my hug?
It's like, where's your hug? Where's my money?
Where's your hug? Oh, your hug is like your hug. Where's my hug? Well, your hug is like your love life. Non-existent. Non-existent. You better back the fuck up. No, but it's like, so you talk about all these like different types of people, because, and then you have like the people that are out there, the hustlers. You have the people that are out there. Hey man, I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I'm just trying to make some money. I'm trying to get my name out there. I'm just trying to do this. I'm just trying to do that.
Oh yeah.
So I imagine that you're like kind of like one of them. I'm a hustler. You have your panelists. You have the people like me that have like 100 panels and no free time.
Hell yeah.
And when we do have free time, we're in the hotel room. Like, man, what the fuck do? We got nothing to do. We can walk around the con. Now that sounds stupid.
Hell yeah.
But it's like, I mean, it's one of those two where it's like, man, like, because being a panelist is hard. Like, don't get me wrong. We talked about that on the Trash Talk panel. Like, when you're a panelist, you're essentially giving up your free time to just walk around and bullshit around.
Definitely.
Right. And so actually, I got a question for you, because we're about to do a entire podcast on this. I know one of the other co-hosts doesn't exactly agree with it, but what is your stance on people that drink at anime conventions or Comic Cons?
I mean, personally, I drink when I go. It's just like, I'm more of the everything in moderation crowd, because I've seen like Literally the last con we went to before pandemic hit, we had a little incident about that in our room. One of our members had a little too much to drink during the drinking game, and let's just say that was not a fun Sunday morning.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, management got brought up to. I brought management up to our room to just be like, "Hey, so this happened. What is it? What's the damage looking like? How much is it?" He told me it was $600. I was like,
Whoa!
All right. Well, shit.
What? What did he do?
I don't know how this happened because he got back to the room before I did. He had my key, but like I get back to the room. I stand out there for like 10 to 15 minutes. He finally comes to the door, opens the door. First thing I see is there's like, because I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you, it was at the Hilton in Galveston. It was during OniCon, and for some reason or another, they have the desks over there in the room with like this apparent sheet of tempered glass on the top of it. I don't know how this happened, but like first thing I see when he opens the door, there's glass on the floor of the room. I'm like, how? Because it's like the lamp that's sitting on top of the table is perfectly fine. There's just like this section of the table. There's just like this section of the glass that's like busted on the floor, and I'm like, all right, I don't know how this happened, but we got to clean this up.
Okay. But it was a fucking, what was it, a lamp?
No, it was like, no, the lamp was fine. It was just like this pane of tempered glass that was apparently sitting on top of the desk for whatever reason, and part of it had gotten, I don't know how it happened, but part of it had gotten busted and was like in a pile on the floor, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Fuck.
Well, shit.
I didn't know we was breaking shit this weekend. I would have came prepared. Bruh, like, I mean, the most I've ever gotten charged was like $250, $300 extra. That's because some asshole during one of our room parties decided to smoke weed in our bathroom, and I told him not to do that shit.
Oh my god.
And it wasn't even somebody staying in my room. Like, it was during the concert we had. So they go in there and they decide to smoke weed, and I got fucking mad. I know who it is, but I'm not going to call them out on here.
Right.
Because there's already a lot of drama right now in the fucking con community. I don't know why these grown-ass adults can't do... like, half of these fucking grown-ass adults are in their fucking 30s, and all they can do is fight.
Right.
Y'all need help.
Motherfuckers need Jesus, like.
Y'all need fucking Jesus for real, bro. Fuck. All right, no. So let's talk about a little bit about your plans for conventions, Delta. Let's talk about in general. Like, what are some plans that you have for, like, what cons are you planning on going to? What are you trying to accomplish? And are you going to do anything? Are you going to host other panels besides saxophone? And we'll talk a little bit about Delta. We'll talk a little bit about Delta as well.
For sure.
So, yeah, because there's a lot going on. Delta is going to be the first con for a lot of people.
Right. Well, actually, for me, it was kind of up in the air for a few days. So I was debating, okay, do I want to get, because nobody else in my group wanted to go. So I was like, all right, don't want to pay this much to get a hotel room by myself, but I'm actually going to IckyCon in a couple of weeks. Because I had talked to my uncle about it, and he was like, hey, so, you give me $50 a night, you can stay at my place, and then, just Uber back and forth between the convention. So I was like, all right, that seems perfectly doable. Because, like, he was just here this past weekend, and, like, the day he left, I went to check the convention website to see what the price of the room would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Sold out. I'm like, oh, well, I guess there goes that part of the plan.
Oh shit! Wait, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a hotel. Who are you going with to Delta?
We're I'm still looking to see if Delta's gonna, approve our panel or not, because it's not that far of a drive for me. We can just make a day trip out of that. It's like maybe an hour and a half, depending.
Wait, what town? I thought you lived in San Antonio.
No, I live like an hour south of Houston.
You live near Galveston?
Not exactly. It's like about 40. It's like about 45 minutes away from Galveston.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I live like near. Let me see.
Because we're looking for people to stay with us.
For Delta?
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm down if you.
Yeah, because we don't just do one room. I don't think you've ever been in our Delta party.
I think you mentioned it to me like, what was it, 2019, and I couldn't go because like money issues and all that. But
yeah, no, it's literally 3 connecting rooms,
nice.
and it comes out to like a lot.
Yeah,
it's about $1,000, maybe. But the thing is, we're staying from Thursday until
Monday. Right. So that's actually not bad at all.
So if you show up Friday, the room's already open.
For sure.
And if you like on Sunday, you don't have to wake up and get your shit rushed down. Like we just hang out the whole day on Sunday. Like Thursday and Sunday, we just hit the pool.
Oh yeah.
And relax. Like I leave Monday, and Monday there's no fucking rush. Like there's nobody there. It's empty.
Right.
Nobody's fighting. Nobody's doing shit. I just leave whenever I feel like it.
Oh yeah.
So like yeah, I mean, plus we have our party, which like I said, it's gonna be like. Plus, there's the wedding on Sunday. I mean, I'm sorry, Friday.
Right. That was another reason I was definitely going to Delta, because
we're gonna go party.
Oh yeah.
No, and the thing is, I asked you about the drinking thing because I've run into people, and one of our co-hosts does not kind of see the point in doing it. They're like, "Oh, I don't get it. I don't really see what's the big deal." I'm like, "Well, when you go to a con and people stink."
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna want to like try to do what you can to like not smell that shit. Especially like I can't like there's a couple people that will like hey man, look, I'm going to a panel. I'm sorry. Like, if you want to talk, either walk with me, come to my panel, or let's hang out afterwards. But they'll like get offended. Like they'll act like I just called them a punk ass bitch or something, and then they'll like get mad at me. Cause I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I got shit to do, bro.
Oh yeah.
By the way, just real quick, today's meme. We're gonna start doing this again, but today's meme of the day.
Nice.
Meme of the day: sexy anime soap bars only reveal their secrets if you use them. One way to get weaves to bathe. Nice. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up because unfortunately I do have to start getting ready. But I wanted to thank you for coming onto the show and talking to us. I do want to bring you back though to talk a little bit more about Delta. Especially, I want to bring you back before Delta and after Delta.
For sure.
To talk about Delta. Especially if your panels get approved. But thanks so much for coming on here, man. It was good to talk to you, to get to know you a little bit. I look forward to seeing you perform at Delta. Hopefully, I'm hoping that you get to perform at Delta because, like, I know a lot of people want to go to Delta, but there's still like that stigma. Like, a lot of people don't want to go, and a lot of people do want to go. So, Delta HCon Comic Palooza weekend is definitely going to be super interesting.
Oh yeah.
For those of you that haven't already, tomorrow we'll be talking. Tomorrow, the subject for the podcast is throwing hands. We're going to be talking about sports. We're going to be talking about combat sports, boxing, Floyd Mayweather versus one of those YouTuber dudes that got swole.
I think it's
Paul.
I can't remember if it. I think it's Logan.
Logan something. What are their names?
I think it's Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
I could be wrong.
Some white dude that's a YouTuber, a famous YouTuber who they got swole. They'll be fighting. He took Mayweather's. He grabbed Mayweather's hat, and Mayweather wanted to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I don't blame Mayweather. If he would have grabbed my hat, I would have kicked his ass too.
Right.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, you can follow Chad at his social media. Please plug your social media stuff.
Yeah, I'll drop it in the comments real quick.
All right, cool. Chad, the saxophone player. You check him out. He'll definitely be at Delta, but hopefully he'll be actually performing at Delta. I know that we're going to try to have him perform in our hotel room for our party. We will actually live stream his performance on our YouTube channel. And all of our panels at Delta and Comic Palooza, we will live stream for those of you that don't want to go or that can't go, but would like to see our panels. With that being said, we'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday Power Hour. I will also be back on Thursday afternoon streaming Among Us. And then Friday, I will try to stream Resident Evil The Village. And then we will have our last Geeks 5 Ever Friday podcast before we go on a hiatus for 2 weeks. We're taking a 2-week break to recharge our batteries.
For sure.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me, Mr. Chad.
Yes, sir.
And I will see everybody tomorrow. Peace.